Hello, my friends, and welcome to another edition of the multi-tier tournament, Fall 2020. We're here in Week 9 with an exciting rematch between the number 1 and number 2 seeds in the Tier 4 Division 1. Apollo taking on Tribulation. Tribulation looking for some revenge from that 0-3 defeat in Week 8.
Boy, and I mean, it was very close in each map that we saw. The 3-0 does not belie what actually happened in that previous series. There were some touch and go moments between these two teams, so I mean, it's all to play for right now. If the unthinkable might happen based upon what we saw in Week 8. If Tribulation is actually able to turn it around and 3-0, 3-0 Apollo here, then we're going to have a dead even tie for first place at the top of the division. I'm not sure what kind of tiebreaker will go after the fact of map differential, because we're getting down to it right now. It might come down to like individual in-map scores. I don't know, or maybe just throwing up a dice and deciding who gets the top seed there. But I mean, looking upon what C4 did last week, I mean, we watched Clout Streaks as well. Really have a fantastic game. You said there's a little bit of a lineup difference for the teams here. So, when we get into that, I'll be able to, better formulate what I'm expecting to see out of these players. But
I can provide some
really,
insight into that, as a
yeah.
matter of fact. So we're gonna have Branch and I Snipe You Later starting off in the tank role for Apollo. So we saw Sparking play all 3 maps last week. Did not see Sparking in the starting lineup. Doesn't mean that they won't come in later out throughout the series. We are going to get Godspeed and Cloud Streaks back in on DPS for Apollo. One thing I would like to touch on is the nerfs that came through, because we did see Cloud Streaks playing the Echo quite a bit. So it may have some effect there. And then Ferk Turloon and Founded Saturn starting it off, where we saw Laughing Tag play all 3 maps last week in the support role on the Zenyatta. So just some slight changes coming in from Apollo. On the other end, we're getting Lost Sock starting the tank role this week for Tribulation alongside Settling Ace. Last week it was Chemo who played the first 2 maps, though Lost Sock did come in and play Hanamura last week. And then, other than that, we're going to get JM Joe playing in the support role over Omi there for Tribulation. So just some slight changes. So we got, Cosmic and Young Ronaldo on the DPS role, where we saw Radioactive play all 3 maps for Trib last week. So, I mean, different starting lineups for both teams coming into this week. We'll see if it changes up the underlining score. Let's take a look at our playoff picture. It's a little slapdash. I threw it together before the match, but you get the idea here on the screen. Apollo coming in 8-0, looking perfect, with a massive +6 in that differential, which these two teams were dead even last week coming in, and that 3-0 really propelled them to the top. It means Tribulation have to 3-0 today if they want to end up in that tie, in which case both teams would be 1-1 in the head-to-head, and they would be perfectly even across the board, but it will take a 3-0 to do it. Which means just right out of the gate, right on Lijiang, as we take a look at our map pool, I mean, Trib has to be perfect. They've got to win Lijiang and everything from there on out to really get that first seed back.
Right. I mean, if they win that out, I mean, it's already done then, right? I mean, they're going to have the first seed. Apollo will have the first seed going forward, regardless of the result. So, I mean,
Yeah.
basically, Lijiang is going to be the map that decides everything here. So a lot of import on a control map, and we saw Liberty, or we saw Apollo last week absolutely crushing it. They got a 2-0 win on the previous week's map. I believe it
Nepal.
was always
It was Nepal.
Nepal.
Yeah.
It was Nepal, and it was once again, it was very close. There was back and forth battles, especially on Shrine. Actually Tribulation had the lead going, and they got up to about 82%, if I recall correctly, and able to be flipped back over to Apollo, and Apollo just put a stranglehold onto it. So we'll see if Tribulation can come out here and really take it to Apollo. This is going to make this evening a lot more interesting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and that's, again, Apollo just needs one map to clinch that first place seed. So, first things first, you got to take it one fight at a time, one map at a time. And that opening map is, it's going to be a. Tribulation's got to come out swinging. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just a quick look at compositions. We saw a lot of brawl on Nepal last week. I don't expect that to differ much. Brawl has been pretty prominent through the control maps, through tier 2s to tier 4 matches. So I'm not expecting much change there as we head into Control Center.
You know, I just got done watching a Better Academy cast as well, and Brawl was pretty heavy there. They ran a lot of Monkey. They ran a lot of Double Bubble, and then they swapped to a Monkey Diva at points, and I saw a lot of Ryan Diva there, and Ryan Zarya as well. So Brawl is definitely bringing its back up. Dive is starting to kind of rear its head as well. If they have it in their banks, then awesome for that. If they're flashing the Monkey right now, we might be seeing the Dive coming out with a little bit of rushdown DPS with them.
It is essentially a Brawl dive. Kind of reminiscent of Double Bubble, but you're getting Branch on the Diva. But they still want to play aggressive with the Lucio Moira and the Sombra and the Reaper. Going up against the Junkrat Reaper on the other side. Tribulation bringing those Brawl tanks as well. And it's going to give them a lot more point presence. As you can see them just moving on and really starting to lay the hammer down. But so far, no kills either way. Branch doing a good job of fending off a lot of the incoming damage with that defense matrix. But you can't DM that beam out of that Zarya. Lost Sock sitting at about 95 charge and has almost got Branch out, but the Coalescence is there. Snipe is the first to fall. As a matter of fact, Branch will get demech. The Coalescence not enough to keep them up in this fight.
No, indeed. I mean, that was an incredibly fast Coalescence coming out of Fark there, trying to keep the team up through the mid-fight. But I mean, you're running you're running Monkey Diva into a Ryan Zarya. You're going to lose that 9 times out of 10, especially if you're not hacking, getting the hacks in and getting in on top of the teams there. So I mean, they really need to worry about their composition right now. Snipe swapping over to the Reinhardt now. So you're going to have Ryan Diva. So the grab eat is still going to be on the board for them. That's got to be a win condition for them, getting this grab out early and trying to eat it.
And we just got word in chat, Headrammer, saying that the latest head-to-head would be the one counted. So if Trip 3-0, they will take the #1 slot. As we get the Graviton Surge countered by the Sound Barrier to start off the fight. Shatter coming through, and that's going to find 3. And then the Death Blossom there to follow it up. That's a quick 4 kills on the board for Tribulation. They continue to rack up percentage.
Full ult economy right there, just taking the 2 into it and really just laying them out. This is a good start for Tribulation as they're nearing 50% here. They're going to have to worry about EMP Blossom, though, or EMP Bomb. You have so many options with this Sombra ultimate coming up that you got to worry about the tire coming out first.
Yeah, and Snipe is going to fall to that tire. The question now is, does Godspeed pull the trigger on this EMP with the main tank out of the fight? It looks like they're just going to be patient and wait it out and wait for that respawn.
You know, wait until he actually respawns, like gets actually back into the game from that little bit of time that it takes to respawn your hero. But I mean, yeah, you can obviously wait there. Nice 5-man EMP.
Coalescence there to try to punch through. Branch is going to pick up 1 immediately. James Joe does eventually press Y on that Sound Barrier, but the self-destruct is in. Tribulation able to find cover, and so far have only suffered the 1 casualties. They try to hang on and get this thing to 99. If they can build up that percentage all the way, it would go a long way, but they're already retreating as Cosmic goes down. Lost Sock doing their best to try to hold on, and a late shatter in from I'd Snipe You. Death Blossom out from Cloud Streaks as well. So a heavy investment there from Apollo, but they will flip the point.
It took them everything to get that point, Volskunk, and I mean, just the kiting away from the EMP, the kiting away, and you know, they didn't catch Easton in it as well, so they had the Coalescence to really counteract the effects of that EMP. They were trying to do it a little bit eco, just getting the 1 ultimate out, but they had to start investing more and more to get into it. So ult economy definitely on the side of Tribulation right now. This should be an easy fight win with this Graviton Surge.
Yeah, certainly with the Death Blossom to back it up. Grav is going to come in, but only finds 1. Could be an important one. Death Blossom is in, but the Sound Barrier negates a lot of the damage. Snipe does fall, which allows for a free shatter, catching 3. Cloud Streaks is down. Branch is down. Godspeed's able to pick up 1, but this is going to be a fight win for Trib, and they should take our opening round.
Yeah, I mean, they do trigger the overtime right here. I mean, that's going to be enough there. But, I mean, he could try and get in on this, but I don't think they touch at all.
A tire from spawn just to make sure, just to try to thwart the stall as long as possible. Coalescence was used in this as well. Tribulation, no, they can invest heavily now. They just got to clean this thing up and get that strong start that we were looking for, and there it is. That's a 1-0 lead on Lijiang Tower for Tribulation.
Yeah, and I mean, really, coming out of the gate, Monkey Diva into a brawl-centric map like Control Center is folly. Let's be honest with each other here. That was very uncharacteristic of a smart team to try and force the dive tanks in a enclosed space like that, and you were running the Sombra and the Reaper, but you didn't account for Cosmic coming out on the Junkrat, and that's just spam damage into very tiny spaces right there, building up very closely to that. So, man, even a May could have come out really nicely there. Anything better than the Sombra Deep Reaper, I think, you know, losing it in the beginning there, that's where they really lost that entire map.
Well, I'm not so sure that a Zarya wouldn't have been the choice. I think the Sombra Reaper would have been fine if you had the Zarya there for the double bubble. And we're getting the Zarya once again from Lost Socks. Did so much work in their opening round and immediately finds value as the DMAT comes through. But Settling Ace falls. Both teams teleporting on, but it was Tribulation who got a little bit of the point presence first. Young is going to go down. And then the boop off the side. Founded is going to send JM Joe off the side of the map. And Apollo are the ones picking up first control.
You know, and I remember, you know, seeing Godspeed before playing the Symmetric. Has a pretty good Sombra and able to ramp up that microwave beam up to level 3 and just start burning shields, burning everybody down. Really, the Diva right now, I don't know if it's necessarily working because Branch was the first one out of mech and then immediately deleted. So, I mean, I don't know if the defense matrix is over what a bubble from Zarya can do right now. I think you would get more value out of that.
Yeah, in this close quarters space, I'd have to agree with you. Godspeed is going to find first kill here on the defense as the Coalescence burns through Settling Ace. Lost Sock's going to get hammered down as well. Another swap I wouldn't mind seeing is the Symmetra from Tribulation. It's so hard to retake with the Sim.
Right, I think that if you invest your Photon Barrier when you're ready to go and then maybe teleport back and swap to another hero, you get the value of it, and then maybe bring out a Tracer, maybe bring out a Junkrat, maybe bring out a Ferret, something to switch it up right now because you just can't get back in the way you were before.
They're going to teleport up to the window and then try to fall down in. The Photon Barrier is out as the Shatter comes through. Sound Barrier is there, but it's not enough to keep Turlin alive. Cloud Streaks falls as well. 2 kills with the Coalescence coming out from Eason, and that's going to be a retake. Tribulation are able to utilize that teleporter and, you know, make me eat my words a little bit, as they do get that retake with the Sim and that Photon Barrier.
Yeah, I mean, color me surprised. It actually worked. I mean, the Photon Barrier was the aggression tool to get them in there and, you know, really shield off that teleporter from Apollo. But still, you're running into Shatter and Self-Destruct on this next ingress coming from them, but you have to worry about Grav and Deadeye. That could be a very filthy combo coming in from Tribulation.
Yeah, the shield will only block one of those shots. It'd have to be a good DM. We'll see how they choose to follow up. If it is going to be the Grav Deadeye. Deadeye does not find much. Shatter comes through, but it gets blocked and bubbled. Snipe You Later finding no value there. So now in comes the Self-Destruct. Everybody's able to find covers. Cosmic was going out looking for a little bit of action. He's going to eventually take Bark out of the fight. Oh, what a boop! Sending 2 more members of Apollo out. Lost Sock able to get those kills before they fall into the pit. And Tribulation managed to hang on, 46% and counting.
And I mean, that was a little bit expensive coming from them too. I mean, you invested the Self-Destruct, you invested the Shatter into it. You're coming in on Coalescence and the Death Blossom from Cloud Streaks. Nothing really close to speak of for Tribulation, so this could be an aggressive fight. They just need to get sped onto the top of them and engage hard.
Yeah, Branch is going to swap over to the Zarya as well. You see that bubble immediately paying dividends. Big charge into the back. We're going to wish you had a bubble now. Coalescence out. There is Godspeed with the, Cloud Streaks with the Death Blossom, keeping that Reinhardt alive. Cosmic dropping yet another Deadeye. Just indicative of how much work Cosmic is getting done, but it's not going to be enough in this fight. Apollo will take it back. Tribulation, can they get to that 90? That would be, no, they will reach 90%.
Definitely last fight territory, and you know, the one good thing coming out there on the side of Apollo is that they held on to Saturn's sound barrier. So you're gonna have that available to you in the next fight, you know, looking especially to combo with it with the Graviton Surge. There it is.
Yep, and that was a nice sound barrier. Shatter coming through on the back end as Ace is looking to try to finish this off, and they will eventually pick up a couple of kills. 3 of them, as a matter of fact, under the hammer of Settling Ace. As Tribulation are looking to steal this thing right back. Hold on for 9% more, and you've got that good start we're looking for.
Yeah, I think they've got it. They might be able to get back with the Lucio, maybe with the Tracer touch point. They do trigger the overtime though.
But immediately, those two teammates go down. Snipe You Later is able to get one with a charge, and there's a boop off the side. It's a double boop from Branch, returning on the Wrecking Ball. What a hero play, and Apollo are not out of this thing just yet. It's a 2v2 on the point, but the Lucio's going to go down. It's just Branch's Cloud Streaks returns on the Tracer, and they are able to trade off, keeping that overtime wick alive. They still have a shield to work through, and they're not able to kill Settling Ace before the Mora comes back in the fight to get him topped up. Now the sound barrier in from JM Joe and the Coalescence invested to support Ultimate Tribulation to try to put the closing series or the closing moments on this fight, on this map. But it's going to be Ace going down. Cosmic on the Tracer is able to pick up one, but the trade back is there from the other side. Basically at a 4v4 as everybody has returned. Fark's going to drop the Coalescence, is able to burn down the counterpart Moira. Large mid portion of sustain gone. Apollo are now truly threatening to flip this thing right back over, but here comes the kill the other way. Snipe gets booped off, and then JM Joe gets a pair, and Tribulation hang on in an incredible back and forth final fight to get that 1-0 lead to start off the series.
Shades of what was that match, Bull Skunk? Danny DeVito versus same map.
I'm not sure.
Season. Oh my, the like 5,000 hour stall.
Yeah.
On that point.
No, I remember the stall. I don't remember who Danny was playing, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, that had shades of that. I actually thought that Apollo was going to turn it there, but Tribulation just had the double support ultimate really to start to really turn that into their favor. And then they went ahead and brought their stall characters out as well. And, you know, looking at the what we saw there from Cosmic had a really good job on that Tracer. Just really smart play from them. They marshaled their resources and just kept the focus fire going down. I mean, Settling Ace, you know, he was just swinging with impunity. He did not feel any pain whatsoever until he felt a little bit of pain. But still, all the damage was really being done by him and really setting up the DPS to really, you know, hold on to that point. And this is exactly what Tribulation needed. They needed this 1-0 to start off the match. This is going to be a very interesting night now. Absolutely.
And I mean, now they've got a little bit momentum on their back. And I mean, we'll see if they can carry that into map 2, which will be Eichenwald here this week. We saw a very interesting Eichenwald on Friday Night Overwatch. I don't expect this one to be quite so memey.
Chat for that? That was a 180 top rope, 6-man
shatter
in the little small part.
There were
Good
two
Lord.
of them. Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting map. Highly recommend going over to the CGL 1 channel and checking out the second match from Friday Night Overwatch. Anyway, these two teams, I'm expecting a little bit more discipline from heading into our hybrid map.
See the same tank lines come out. I snipe you on the main tank. I think he just got a little bit bullied around by Settling Ace there. Just in this extreme. And also Branch bringing out, sticking with the Diva so long. If you're seeing Ryan Zarya on the other side, you have to mirror that, especially with the DPS choices that you were showing. You have to mirror it. You can't just stubbornly stay on the hero saying, I'm going to play the Diva. It wasn't working. And they proved that it wasn't working. And I mean, when you finally got the payoff moment of your self-destruct, you find no joy with it. That right there shows that you're not understanding your win condition. You're not understanding what needs to be done. Keeping the right, once you swapped over to the Zarya, you were able to keep up Ice Snipe you a lot longer.
Yes,
in the fights. You were able to let the support come through and top him off and keep him up and allow him to be as aggressive as he needed to be. So recognizing your win condition and the comp diff that you're going up against, that's something that Apollo right now, we didn't have this problem last week. Now it's like a different team altogether. We'll see what happens in map 2 of Eichenwald.
I mean, Tribulation able to do already in map 1 what they could not do for the entire series in week 8. Now, perhaps that was just maps that, you know, they're not super strong on. Perhaps this map pool favors them a little bit more. They're certainly hoping so as we head into map 2. We did get an update, Disero. Thank you very much, saying that it was solo that Danny DeVito was playing in the Super Stall series there on Lijiang. Appreciate that.
Yep. You know, the other thing is, looking at both the teams right now, I mean, you know, they both came in having only lost 2 maps last week across the entire season. And Apollo came and says, yep, here you go. you're gonna have a -3 now to your total. So man, this is tight as it gets, and I'm really interested to see what they bring out here. We're gonna see once again they're bringing out the Monkey Diva
Yeah,
on defense.
Bring out the dive tanks once again.
Yeah, okay. We'll see how it works. We'll see if Godspeed can get some more work done on this Sombra, because a little bit of ineffectuality coming out from the hacks, the manual hacks that they needed to get. A little bit more room to work here than you saw on Control Center. So you can have a little bit more of that peekaboo style play of Sombra that I love to see.
Trip 7 in Blind Sleep for Cosmic on this map. Bringing in the Sombra. Running a little bit of dive of their own with Oni on that Ana. So as we do get Oni-chans coming back in, subbing in for Jay and Joe as well for Tribulation. Immediately in the back, Manuel onto the Lucio. Found it already in a lot of trouble. And it will get taken out as Tribulation move in and start claiming space pretty much immediately. Snipe is going to run to the top, but gets hunted down. And it's a +2 to Trib on this attack. Blind Sleep does fall. Let's see if Apollo can bring this whole thing back. They still got a lot to work through. Trying to put pressure on the Brig, but Easton is just able to get out of dodge. Cloudstreaks is eventually going to find that kill, and that just might be the swinging point right there. You've got the Brig out of the fight, and now suddenly Settling Ace has to get out.
Indeed, and the quick assassination onto Saturn there on the hack in the initial fight there. The kiting that you saw from Apollo, getting into that little small room, getting the little mini pack there, really keeping them up through the mid fight, trying to get Saturn back, and then he was able to come in, amp those heals up, and really turn that fight on its head. They gave up a point, but in the interim, they were able to go ahead and save the entire point.
Godspeed also able to take the lead in that ult charge with the EMP ready to go. Blind is going to get theirs on now as Godspeed is forced back from some nice shots from Oni, courtesy of Oni. Not able to get that EMP in. So now we're going to get the Blade coming out. And the EMP on top. Now, what a play from Oni. Bought just enough time for this DPS to get the work done as 2 kills come through, courtesy of the Katana. Self-destruct over the top will eventually take Young out. Cloud gets slept mid-Death Blossom. It is now in a lot of pressure. A Brig chasing down a Reaper can absolutely put a hurt down. Meanwhile, back on the point, we are going to get self-destruct in from the attacking team into the back line as one tick is already picked up. Oni-chans does fall, though, so Tribulation need to close this fight out quickly. They do have the rally, keeping them bolstered. It'll hold them off for a little while until Oni can get back in this fight. Primal Rage used as well. Snipe is going to fall down, and the point does come through. They're going to get this cart on the road.
They were trying to tiptoe the point there, and I saw what they were trying to achieve. They were trying to just, stall, touch, get out, try to maintain that stall as long as they could. But, I mean, Snipe was only on like 50 HP there, and he just got burst down in a hurry. Coming into this next fight, I mean, a lot of good things online for Apollo to stop the aggression coming from Tribulation.
Cloud making the swap off the Reaper, going over to the McCree. Try to help deal with the Genji on the other side. Also pretty good against the Sombra. I mean, assuming you can catch him out, you can interrupt and delete with a nice flashbang, which is actually going to go on to Settling Ace as the EMP comes through from Blind Sleep. Once again, this one catching 4 as well, and it's a battle over the high ground, but the kill's not yet coming through. Snipe does eventually fall. Branch is very low as well. Will get demacked. Both tanks out of the fight for Apollo, and Tribulation are going to continue just waltzing down the streets of Eichenwald.
This is absolutely a turnaround from what we saw week 8. I mean, looking at Lost Sock, I mean, we saw Chemo playing the off-tank role for Tribulation last week. Lost Sock in this role now, absolutely getting the better of Branch in the head work. And once again, I think that bringing a Zarya out here might be the answer to playing this.
Rallies up, and that's a 5-man EMP on the other side. Sock, oh, Branch dropped one in the back. Oh my goodness, I didn't see it coming, neither did Tribulation. And that was half the team gone with 1 ultimate. I guess 2 if you count the EMP.
2.
Yeah.
Looks like Snipe actually pulled a Primal Rage as well. They also, looks like they brought out the sound barrier into it as well. So actually a lot more expensive than what we originally realized, but it did stop the aggression coming in from Tribulation.
I was just meaning it was an ultimate that took out half the team. I wasn't saying that was all they used, but yeah. It was expensive for the defense, no doubt, no doubt. Oni going down means the Nano Blade off the table here for this next fight. Cloud's going to pick up a second and get the Sombra out of there as well. That's going to keep Blind from getting the rest of that EMP built up and allow Godspeed to catch up a little bit.
I really like that Fark is paying attention to the Genji so much. Young Ronaldo going down in the heat from that headshot from Cloud Streaks. But I mean, the combination of the flashbang, the hacks, and the primary suck off from the Moira, making life hard for young Ronaldo right now. You're gonna have to get this Dragon Blade off Nano Blade, most expected, and then see what you can get and maybe swap off to another hero because he's feeling no joy right now.
No, but they're about to have this EMP to initiate this fight, Nano Blade to finish it. As you can see, Blind just tracking in the back. It's got eyes on multiple targets. Ready to press the Q button. Oh, Ronaldo gets chopped down, or Cloud gets chopped down by Ronaldo, excuse me. As the Nano Blade does come through, they hold on to the EMP. I expected that to be the initiator, but it looks like they're not going to need it. Snipe is going to fall as well, and it's a +1 as Young gets taken out. Now the EMP from the defense, that's going to pick up 4. Both tanks of Tribulation are very low. Settling Ace is going to fall as Branch finds that pick. Now keeping the back line at bay and hoping that Apollo's own back line can handle the tanks that are in so deep. But there's a rally out on that side. Branch is going to toss in the self-destruct. Not going to find the same success this time. The rallied up Diva as well as settling Ace are starting to find some success as the EMP comes in over the top to help close out the end of point B.
Oh my goodness, and the EMP there was actually kind of massive takedown. Poor Snipe on the monkey, didn't have any chance for him to get any kind of a escape ability for him. They're still fighting into this, but looks like they're going to pick it up with 15 seconds. So minute 45 to get through this last choke here around these two corners. Maybe time to bring out a little bit more of a brawl composition from Apollo to stop the aggression coming in.
Godspeed's going to take down Young immediately. Not a good start for this attack, but we've still got time to get some ults built up. Not a whole lot. $1:20 on the clock. As Apollo just kind of chase out the remaining members of Tribulation.
You know, getting 72% to that barrage already. Swapping off to the Reaper now. But EMP coming up online for Godspeed going down in a little bit of a hurry here. EMP online.
Yep, self-destruct came in. Godspeed was able to translocate out. Nanoboost is going to go in onto the Winston now in lieu of the swap. Winston is now up against a sound barrier team and is just in a lot of trouble. Didn't dive out, got hacked up, couldn't go anywhere, and got caught. That's just going to prompt a reset. Tribulation, you've got to get out now and give yourself one last good attack.
Yeah, you're going to have, you know, 2 initiators for the defense here coming in this next. You know, you've got the stall ability coming from the Primal Rage. That's going to give you 1,000 HP right off the bat, so that's an immediate stall ability. You're going to have Coalescence to keep you up through the fight. So we'll see dueling Primal Rages here. Blind Sleep, though, the EMP could turn this entire fight on its head.
And Blind Sleep has done a good job of getting that built up here in the last 30 seconds. And the Translocator is in place. Destroy the other. EMP finds 5. Snipe is primaling. But you've also got Settling Ace angry and in there trying to find the kills. There are none to be found. The focus fire not quite there on the back of the EMP, and it's given time for Apollo to drop that Coalescence. Self-destruct thrown into the back, not going to find much, but Cloud Streaks does go down. Ethan pops the rally, armors up the team, and Young is going to drop the Death Blossom, find a pair with the spinning shotguns of death, follows it up with the D-Mech onto Branch as well. Tribulation have the advantage. They should be able to push this thing home, but it is in overtime.
It is, in fact, in overtime, and I mean, there's another EMP coming out from Godspeed, but nothing joy for it. Branch went down with self-destruct. He could have pressed Y and really pushed them off the point there. That's an opportunity missed from Branch. But they do get him into overtime. So we'll see if that makes any kind of a difference going into the attack phase for Apollo. Apollo kind of got bullied around there by Tribulation. I'm still not digging the dive tanks. I think if you bring out Brawl at some point there, you still have the ability to go in there. Even if you run the double bubble, even if you bring the Zarya out there, I know that the cooldowns of the bubbles are a little bit lengthy, but still, I think that you have a lot more sustainability. You have a lot more staying power going into these fights. Also noticeable, not a single glimpse of Zenyatta on the field. That 5% nerf coming through and absolutely shelving the Omnic Healer again. And, you know, we saw that burning down so many tanks. That was one of the major things that we saw coming out from Apollo during their Week 8 match. So maybe this nerf has actually affected them a lot more than we expected.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, we're not seeing, you know, Clout on the Echo either. Even Godspeed, who was on the Tracer pretty much exclusively last week, has been kind of shifting around, bouncing between a couple different heroes. None of them, the British, you know, the British sprinter, I guess we could call her. We had a little comment in chat about Sombra. Sombra is super strong right now. Absolutely. Typically, very good against a Wrecking Ball, but we're seeing a Sombra played a lot through the NEXT tournament, which has been pretty indicative of the current meta.
On the Better Academy match that I watched earlier today as well. Nice job to those casters, just throwing it out. A little love to them. But still, I think right now, you know, they're bringing out the Brawl. They're bringing out the Rein Zarya, and that's exactly what they need to just deal with this. I mean, that 700 HP bubble isn't much to deal with, and nice flashbang from Calatrix to deal with the mech of the Diva.
I mean, it gives so much space for these DPS to do their job. Godspeed and Clout coming up with a pair during that fight. And, I mean, there's so much damage coming out from a McCree and a Reaper.
Yeah, I mean, the sustain there, too. I mean, you're able to speed on to the team. You're able to get that burst healing down from Fark. And, I mean, they're watching out for Oni. They know who Oni is. I mean, Oni had a wonderful match last week against them, but still went down in the loss. But, I mean, they know Oni-chan's Ana is absolutely cracked, so they have to be, you know, always mindful of the Ana right now.
Snipe's got a shatter ready to go. He's going to take a pretty perfect bubble from settling A's to deny this, or other than that, some wonderful positioning from Tribulation so that you don't get too many people caught and you can deny that follow-up. But right now, Apollo are just slowly escorting this cart around. They're not really challenging the high ground too much. We're going to get settling Ace, nanoed up in the back as the Shatter comes through. Shatter didn't seem to get much value. Settling Ace is able to pick up one, but they lose Young along the way. Now just trying to cleave through the front line, but they don't have the staying power, and Tribulation just got to back right on out of there.
Ana, while a beautiful, wonderful healer in their own right, you don't have the same kind of burst potential that you do from the amped heals of a Lucio and the healing spray of a Moira and the healing orb. So, you know, the sustain is just a little bit better coming from Apollo right now. But I did see Oni land a 3-man anti-nade onto a lot of them and pulled those bubbles out of Branch. So that's going to be something to look for.
A 4-man EMP into the back line. It is Clout and Godspeed drop their ultimates on the front. Oni is going to fall, and that Ana is off the battlefield, but it's still a +1 to the defense of Tribulation. Young has a Death Blossom of their own in the back. It's going to teleport across, has some juicy targets in their side, pulls the trigger and gets 2 with it. The boop is late. And now Founded, also with the late sound barriers, forced to just back off and run.
He's still being pursued. He might get caught. He does get caught. Great pursuit from settling Ace there. And that teleport into the Death Blossom was huge from Young Ronaldo because they had Grav online. They have the Coalescence online. They could have all been bottled up, and we would be talking about 0.3 now.
A lot of ultimates online here for Apollo as they're making their way back in. At least a couple of tank ultimates and a Coalescence could be enough, but they got to survive this self-destruct into the back, and Fark goes down. No! Disastrous start to the fight for Apollo, as Lost is going to boot Founded into the pit below as well. Shatter comes through, and a couple kills on the back of it. So despite missing their primary source of healing, Apollo were able to get the kills quickly and push this card in.
Oh my word, they turned that on its head. That should not have worked as well as it did, but Clout and, Godspeed and I Snipe You staying together, laying the Shatter down, getting the follow-up kills necessary to it. Lost Sock was in the back line trying to deal with supports and stragglers, and they just got a free push into 0.3.
Once again, Godspeed is slept immediately after the Shadow Step, then just uses Wraith to get right back to the front line. Graviton Surge, it's going to pick up 3, but the sound barrier is there, keeping them alive. Coalescence used from the attacking team, as well as a Deadeye from that off angle. Everybody able to hide from Tribulation so far, but the Shatter has other plans. Settling Ace receives a Nano and goes in swinging, is able to find 2, and already has an Earth Shatter online after just making this swap.
Yeah, I mean, that was 3 actually gotten by him, and what a wonderful use of not only the anti-nade to make sure that Snipe could not get any healing from that Coalescence, but also the Nano put onto them. Huge play from Oni-chan's. Once again, this Ana is absolutely disgusting. I love it. But you are going into EMP for the attackers. I mean, they have got to watch out for this player coming in. Here it comes.
It's a 6-man, right over the top. And the Shatter was there with it, and that's a quick 3 kills. Feed lighting up for Tribulation off the back of that great ult combo. EMP with the highest fight win of any ultimate in the game.
Yeah, I mean, just filthy, beautiful translocator over the top. They never saw it coming, and I mean, that's off the table now. Okay, so you took your licks there, and now you're moving in. Now you've got this Death Blossom online. How do you combo with it? How do you get any kind of work out of it? Because the sleeps have been real from Oni-chan.
Ooh, that one was just a touch early. Godspeed not quite come out of the Shadow Step yet. Now has the Death Blossom down. Oh, gets burned down. Lost Sock with just a speck of health is able to find that kill. Does eventually fall as Snipe comes in with the pin. And then follows it up with a great fire strike to finish off Settling Ace. This cart's rolling in. This could be disastrous. Tribulation, you have to stop this push. If you want to claim that first place, you have got to stop this. You cannot let Apollo get in with more than 60 seconds. The Deadeye's going to pick up 1, and slowly but surely, the hopes of Tribulation are starting to look really bleak as the kills come through on the Settling Ace. It's a boostio on point just to try to buy as much time as possible, but Godspeed is in there with the Hellfire shotguns, making life difficult for Tribulation. Gets a 3K in that, is able to take down Blind, asleep on the back of it. Wrecking Ball is out, but won't last long against said shotguns, and that's a $1:48 left on the clock. Tribulation will not get an attack in extra innings.
And the big ultimate that came out of that last push there was Cloud Streaks hitting the Deadeye when young Ronaldo was going into Death Blossom. Canceled the ultimate completely. Oh my word. Back and forth action as we saw last week as well, Bull Skunk. And this time, Tribulation just didn't have the staying power. I mean, Oni-chan's was doing everything they could to keep the team. So was Ace. And I mean, the sound barrier was huge. The grab that came out from Lost Sock was also huge, trying to buy as much time as they could. But the power and the strength of the Brawl comp that was just being shown the entire time there. They had the sustain up. They had the speed to really maneuver around the cooldowns of Tribulation. And now coming out on their attack phase. As we know that Tribulation will not get a shot here. They're playing for the draw here. We need to see what they bring out here. How are they going to stop this Brawl composition? They're going to show their own Brawl. They're bringing out the Moira Lucio as well, so they've taken this Ana off the table in favor of more sustain, trying to, maybe they didn't feel like they got enough work out of the Biotic Grenade into their oncoming attackers. So, man, mirror compositions here. It's all to play for here. See if we can get a tie, or will we stay 1-0 going into map 3?
Yeah, Tribulation have to get this draw. Otherwise, it is Apollo claiming the first place seed. Coming out with the Reaper McCree once again. All that front line damage. Cloud immediately has their sights set on Settling Ace. And Ace is just going to fall back around the corner. It does give up a lot of space for Apollo to work, though. You got to be careful, as Young was sitting around the tower, was able to get some shots down before being forced to Wraith form out. But Branch is going to move in deep and is able to pick up 1, but Godspeed responds. And it's a +1 to Apollo, looking to push on and grab this precious 33%. They're going to chase down Lost Sock. They're going to push in to small room, find a kill as well, and that is it. Apollo, they will take Eichenwald, tie up the series, and solidify their #1 spot in Tier 4.
Yeah, it's mathematically impossible now for the Tribulation to be able to match them. Losing one map, it was always on the line there. And I mean, great performance from both sides. I mean, Tribulation put it all out there, gave us the excitement. But we still will complete our series here tonight. But that will put Apollo into the first place position. They were Division 2, correct?
Division 1.
Division 1. So they will play the #4 seed from Division 4 in their first round of the playoffs. So, that was what it was all for. That's what they knew what they had to do. They knew that that's what they wanted to have. So now we'll see Tribulation play the number 3 seed from Division 4. So that's going to be a little bit more difficult of a matchup. But I mean, this has been a division trial by fire, and they might be in good stead regardless of what seed they are going into the playoffs. Because these two teams, they come to play every time they come out. They come to play. Two of our legacy orgs here in the CGL, and yeah, that's man. I mean, they went down swinging. They went down to overtime when it counted, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be here casting this match tonight. I love the fact that we got to continue the narrative from last week and bring it into this week. It feels good, man. It feels good.
Yep. Nope. Trust your casters. It is Division 1. And yeah, they're certainly going to go all out. Tribulation, they still have pride on the line, and you still want to have that victory under your belt heading into the postseason, even if you can't get the number 1 seed. They want to have those bragging rights, and they want to go into the postseason knowing that they have beaten Apollo and can beat them again. We'll see if they can bring it back. We're all tied up. We're going to take a short break. We're going to return on Volskaya to see who takes the edge. We're all tied up at the half, 1-1 between this Tier 4 matchup of your number 1 and number 2 seeds. Headed into Volskaya, Tribulation looking to get some revenge on their only loss of the year, which was against Apollo last week in Week 8. See if they can bring it back, bounce back after a loss there on Eichenwald.
Yeah, I mean, Apollo just bringing out the Ryan Zarya. I mean, once they just swapped over to that comp, they looked almost unstoppable. And it proved itself again into the overtime there. Just a little bit of differences here and there. Once again, it's not the same score that everybody thinks it is. Like, it's so close. Every fight that goes on, they're hanging on tooth and nail. Like the shatter behind the lines coming out of I Snipe You to secure point B when it should have been a lost fight. Yeah, that was exactly indicative of how this entire 2-week saga, if I continue from last week, has gone. So, man, this is great stuff. Can we tell you how the season has gone? It's been interesting with all the issues and all the challenges that we have faced. But still, CGL marches on, and it's been a wonderful season to answer somebody in chat.
Well, Tribulation has looked great. They're currently sitting at 7-1 coming into Week 9, but they're facing their rivals right now. Apollo at 8-0. And once again, I mean, Apollo won that head-to-head last week. Tribulation, well, they're able to take a map off so far here today in our opening 2. They needed to be perfect to claim the number 1 seed. That did not happen. So they're going to be at least number 2 seed. And we'll see if the results of this match. We'll revisit those standings and see if there's a potential for them to even fall to number 3. But, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not call it too early. We've got map 3 ahead of us. We're headed to Volskaya.
Yep, and I mean, this presents its own issues. I mean, we've seen Drawskaya before. That's always been a fun nickname for it. So I mean, we could draw this map out. We could see, one team just steamroll the other. It just depends on what the mental of Tribulation is. I know that they had their win condition and their playoff win condition in their heads going into this map. So do they continue to fight like they do, like they have all season? I think they do. I think they go out with a bang regardless of what position they're going to be in. So, looking at it, I mean, they're going to be coming out onto the attack here. So we'll take a look at Apollo. We see Sparking coming back into the lineup in the off-tank role. We're running the Winston Diva again, and I'm still going to qualm about that, especially if Tribulation decide to swap over to a Ryan Zarya. That's going to be a lot of pressure onto them. So, I mean, we're seeing the same comp that we had come out again. Godspeed on the Sombra. Looking for those manual hacks. Once again, still more room to work on this map than we saw on our first map of Lijiang.
Absolutely is. And we're seeing the Genji once again, which is kind of an interesting choice in this meta. But, Young was able to get some work done with it before, and Oni's been looking real sharp on that Ana. No doubt.
I mean, lots of work being done by that player, and one of my MVPs for the season so far, just watching the work that has been going there. So, lots of love to that Ana player.
Right now, it's Tribulation just chasing Apollo out of that side room, and they're going to find first blood. It's Founded falls, but Sniper responds, each able to get a kill. It's 5v5, but Yeah, Snipe goes down with a nice dash from Young, who's already 70% to Blade. Now the rest of Apollo are hiding in Mega Room, but that Mega is hacked. They can't use it, and they're going to find themselves just a little stuck in there. Oh, maybe it is their hack on that. The colors, they were a little awkward there for a moment. That they do have control of that Mega. That's important, as Cloud Streak is able to get one with the Deadeye, but will fall as Young now has that Blade online ready to go. Is manually hacked, though, doesn't get a chance to pull the trigger on it. And Godspeed and Fart combine with some help from their tanks, and wow, they're going to hang on to this, but they do give up 2 ticks.
Yeah, I mean, a little over 75%, so, you know, not bad for the first ingress onto the point, right? I mean, and they've got ultimates coming up online. They're going to have the Primal Rage. They're going to have the Blade. They did have to invest that Nano Blade to keep, or that Nano Boost to keep settling Ace up in the mid-fight, so that's off the table for right now, so that's got to be a win for Apollo. EMP online for them. They might be able to stop this attack before it even starts.
It's going to be settling going up to the high ground as the defensive EMP finds 3, including both supports. JMJ not able to get that sound barrier out, and Blind Sleep goes down, putting them further behind in that EMP build. Cloud is able to pick up a second kill and settling Ace, this time the victim of the Peacekeeper and the defensive Apollo. Strong fight that time.
Indeed it was. The exit kills coming out here from all sides. What a flashbang from Cloud Streaks there to clean up the mess that was made. Now, moving into our next fight, you're going to have EMP almost online, Dragon Blade, and the self-destruct. So EMP Blade combo could be an option. Also, the EMP bomb could be an option. Jim Joe has a sound barrier ready to go, so that's going to keep them up through the mid-fight.
Yeah, and they can use it on tempo or even match the one coming out from the defense. They don't have to worry about EMP for a little bit, though. Godspeed is building up their second EMP quicker and quicker, already 2/3 of the way there. Manual on to Founded, trying to get that kill, but can't quite find it. Blind is forced to back out and is now in trouble. It's got to translocate. Fortunately, not far. They can get right back in this fight, drop that EMP, and that's going to find 3. That's going to take all the shields out. That Founded just dropped. Self-destruct picks up 1 as well. Cloud is trying to equalize. It's going to move up to the high ground. Drop this Deadeye from above. Yes, indeed. It is high noon. The trigger will demech Lost Sock, but does eventually get taken down as JM Joe goes up, finds some revenge. Godspeed is able to get the kill, and as the numbers have dwindled on both sides, the defense are looking to hang on as reinforcements start to show up for Apollo.
I mean, what an orb coming out from Fark right there. Coalescence gained in the interim as well. I mean, that EMP absolutely decimated Apollo, and they still have the work going to self-destruct online. 30 seconds left. They've got Coalescence. They've got the self-destruct going into this. This is going to be looking like a full hold. Oni-chans, where do you go with this Nano Boost? That's my first question. I think you throw it onto Settling, try to get him building up to that Primal Rage to see if he can create havoc in the backline.
Yeah, that's absolutely the players. The Divas are up there holding hands on top of center box right now. Lost finally realizes it is. Settling does indeed receive the Nano and goes in and gets the kill onto Godspeed. Follow-up kill onto Sparking and Tribulation to have some good traction here on point A. They've got their flag planted. They just got to keep it from getting dislodged this time, as the Manual is going to help finish off Founded. Snipe does pick up a pair, but it's not enough to stave off the cap.
And I mean, I think they were just building ultimates there, honestly. I think they had made the decision to give up the point and just plant their defenses on point B. I mean, they've got 3 minutes to get in there. They've got the Primal Rage ready to go. The Nano is not nearly close, like we just heard Oni say. But Blade and EMP might be the fight winners here going into this next point.
This could be a race to see who gets EMP built up first. A preemptive EMP from Godspeed could shut this whole thing down. Right now, the attackers just pushing up to the high ground, doing a little poking and prodding, trying to scout the defense out and decide how they want to ingress here onto the second point, build up the rest of those ultimates. Both EMPs online, ready to go. Blind in the back.
The real race is to sound barrier. Does Jim Joe or does Founded Saturn get it first?
Well, it's going to be the EMP out from the attackers. The self-destruct picks up a pair. Not only denies the follow-up, but takes out both DPS in the process. Coalescence used to help make sure there's no ticks picked up.
Godspeed got to hold on to their EMP too, so that is a little bit unlucky there. If you are Tribulation, you were hoping to maybe pull that out and maybe counter EMP to really secure the fight win, but they just weathered the storm and got it out. But Dragon Blade online next, you're going to be hoping to get the EMP onto that as well.
Yeah, it's at least they have the nano boost to go with that Dragon Blade. Young won't be going in completely bare. There's the dive into the back from settling Ace, and then here it comes. The nano, the EMP does not hit Young, who has the nano, but doesn't pull out the sword. What are you waiting on, Young? Get that blade out of its sheath. There it is. As the nano fades, he's able to cut Founder down. Settling does fall on the attack, and the self-destruct will come through, but the D-Mech is still not there. Self-destruct does pick up one. Sock falls as well. Both Divas out of the battlefield, and I think Apollo's done just enough to hang on.
I mean, the progress is starting to tick up a little bit as they get the point pressure on there. But, I mean, they've got ultimates to stop this now. A big anti from Oni-chan's once again. I mean, no follow-up onto it, but, man, the work being done by this Ana has been absolutely huge all match. And the fact that Godspeed held on to the EMP so long, look at the difference in disparity now. 50% between the two of them. They're going to have an EMP in this next fight. That could spell disaster for Apollo.
That's the win condition, and they need it quick. 20 seconds. They got one last chance at point B. 90% towards the EMP. The rest of the team patiently waiting. You can tell they're just waiting for Blind to finish that off. As Blind is in the back right now in a little bit of a duel with the Lucio. Here comes Sparking to try to help out. Blind has to translocate all the way out. Does have EMP ready to go. Meanwhile, you got Lost Sock keeping Cloud at bay as the 4-man EMP comes through. Is the follow-up there? The nano boost down onto settling A. He's going to go up to the top, but the counter EMP comes through. Only hits Blind. Nano now, or excuse me, the Primal Rage now coming out as Cloud Deadeye picks up one, but they sacrifice himself for it. Each kill from the defense, oh so important, and dwindles the chances of Tribulation being able to get any progress done. Spark goes down, Sparking goes down, Tribulation are not out of this yet. Snipe, at the very last moment, is able to pop that Primal Rage, buy more time for reinforcements to get back, but they get burned down, 1,000 HP gone. One tick of progress already picked up as the stall characters start to come out.
And they kind of waited for a second. They're waiting to get out there and see the maximum benefit of that Sound Barrier Dragon Blade coming out from young Ronaldo, though.
Nice manual onto Clout, makes him an easy target. They're able to get that Doom Fist off the battlefield. Now Young trying to turn their attention, takes Founded down as the Sound Barrier comes through from their own Lucio. EMP out, found two. Sparking is able to get the self-destruct out, and that's going to take down Ace. Oh no, must not have had Bubble. That's a huge loss for Tribulation as they're trying to find the last 19% needed. It means the Nano Boost is going to go on to Lost instead of the Winston. And they're just trying to burn down these last remaining members. But so far, Godspeed is oh so elusive. Able to find the kill onto Oni and keep Apollo in this fight. Right, Sniper returning on the ball, now spinning to win and trying to allow time for reinforcements to get back into this battle.
You got Coalescence coming out, trying to keep them up through the fight that takes down Young Ronaldo and
JM Joe. 2 kills from the Coalescence is enough to claim the point back. Apollo, do not give up that third tick.
Hero plays from all players concerned. Hello? Apollo? What the heck was that?
That was
Good grief.
Great hole.
That Coalescence that came out from Fark at the very last moment, absolutely clutch. And I mean, Snipe set it up by spinning to win. I just got to say, that was just fantastic from both teams. Great defense. I mean, and that hold on point A rears its ugly head again. I mean, they were into overtime taking that first point. So, I mean, wow, that was a lot of aggression coming out of Tribulation. They didn't get the full capture, but they did get 84.3%. So your win condition for Apollo now is absolutely set. Just get a little bit more than that. And you will take a 2-1 lead here in our Week 9 final week match of the CGL MTT 8. Looking at defensively coming out, young Ronaldo is going to bring out the Cowboy to really start pressuring down from high ground. I assume he'll take the upper left high ground there to try to spam damage in blind sleep, bringing out the Sombra again. Had a really good performance on that Sombra. We saw many multiple man EMPs come out from that hero. Just sometimes the follow-up wasn't there. And yeah, we're looking at a Oni chance once again. Beautiful out of play. We'll see if they can hold off Apollo here, or will we see just a storm coming from Apollo?
Blind was definitely getting more EMPs out than Godspeed. But like you say, the follow-up was just a little lacking on a couple of them. And we'll see if Tribulation can improve on that heading into their defense. As we are getting a mirror aside from Fark on the Moira versus Oni's Ana, and Young able to find a kill right out of the gate. Clout goes down, but they lose their main tank. Sparking is able to pick up one, giving the player advantage over to Apollo on their very first attack. Now going into the back line, Snipe gets slept! Doesn't drop the bubble in time. Sparking coming in to try to help finish off what Snipe had started, but Young is there, so provides some backup, provides some bodyguard, and finds that kill onto Snipe.
Yeah, the progress was going in their favor. They didn't even get the first tick, though. Fark Turloon, though, on point, taking down the Somber. That's a huge pick out from the repertoire of the nice tracking from Cloud Streaks as well. They're on a +1 for sure now.
Yeah, and Godspeed is going to find that kill onto Oni, which will finish it off. And point A coming through. They'll have just under 6 minutes on the clock to take point B.
EMP bomb is on the line right now. By the time Sparking gets to point A or point B, they have EMP bomb ready to go. Nothing to stop them from it as well. Jim Joe bringing out the Brigitte now, a little bit more beefiness, a little bit more impact on the healing core. Also, the CC abilities might be in what they're looking for as well.
Nice manual onto Clout combined with the nano boost onto Settling, and they're able to get that kill swiftly. And they're just going to dive right back out of there. Found what they were looking for, but Sock did not get the message, did not get the memo that they were backing out of the fight, and ended up getting taken down. It must have been a manual hack keeping them from boostering out.
May have been. I mean, what we're looking at into this next fight, we're almost having 6 ultimates online for Apollo here, so we'll see what they get out of it.
Godspeed just narrowly escaping with their life, waiting till the absolute last second. Let's see who pulls the trigger on this EMP first. Snipe is up top, manually hacked with the Primal. The Settling Ace goes in and tries to return the favor. It's a battle of who can kill the backlines first. Self-destruct in alongside a 5-man EMP for Tribulation, but they're not able to get many kills. Founded does eventually fall, and Young is able to pick up the kill onto Clout. Settling Ace takes down Godspeed, and that's the Tribulation defense hanging on.
I mean, they were 5-man EMP. They still turned the fight in their favor. I think if Sparking and Godspeed would have really coordinated their attack together, they could have gotten at least 2 picks out of that, because the positioning was absolutely atrocious from Tribulation there. But, once they heard they didn't have that EMP queue coming out, they could just duck out of the way, use their cooldowns to get out of the blast radius of that self-destruct. So, next fight going up, I mean, we're looking for Oni chance to deliver another massive nano, probably onto Settling Ace. Once again, gotten a lot of value out of the Electric Monkey today.
JMJ swaps over to the Brig, which I'm not a fan of. They don't have a big support ult to deal with the EMP now. Where Founded has that sound barrier ready to go, but gets manually hacked. Blind not quite able to get that follow-up. Nano boost once again on the Settling Ace, just doing so much cleave damage up top. And is going to rotate back around to catch Apollo as they try to come in off of this side angle. Keeping him at bay pretty much single-handedly, has nearly gotten Primal built off, but Blind eventually finds that kill onto Snipe. Joe falls on the other end. This will favor the defense as the self-destruct comes through from Sock and finds a pair, and that'll be enough to send Apollo packing.
Yeah, and I mean, they've got to really just, get out with their lives, do what they got to do, run off the side of the map, and just full reset here. You've got to work for the EMP bomb here. I think that's what the play here has to be. Work in coordination, see if you can get built up to that primal rage, start knocking people about, and don't let them just scurry away from the bombs.
Godspeed, 80%. Blind with EMP ready to go. Stalking from above. Bubble's gone. There's nothing to block any of it, and that's a 5-man EMP, a 4-man at least. Sparking is going to get Demex deleted, is out of there. Clout on the newly swapped Reaper. Inside, is able to get that kill on a Settling Ace. Blind comes in to return the favor, but Clout gets a little bit of revenge there, picking up their second kill of the fight. The question is, does Apollo have enough to stick around? It looks like they're going to go ahead and wait for Snipe to get back into this battle.
Yeah, I mean, they still have 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go, so they still have at least 2, maybe 3 more attacks here, depending on what kind of heroes they bring out, if they should get really low. But, I mean, right now, you've got Rally, you've got Nano, you've got the Primal Rage once again, so do we see Oni play it again?
Goes on to settling once again. It's an incredible charge on this Nano Boost. It's giving them a big edge, but here comes the EMP from the attacking team. Self-destruct thrown in as well, and that's 2 kills under Apollo's belt. They're going to throw down the Coalescence to try to push onto the objective as the self-destruct is thrown in from the defense. Lost is able to get Godspeed in pilot form with the Buddy Blaster while the bomb is going off. What a huge kill. Blind is going to find one as well. Turns around and drops the EMP. That's going to find a couple. Clout with the Death Blossom, not able to Wraith form out due to said EMP. And then the kill comes through on a Founded as well. Beautiful defense to hang on with about 75 seconds left on the clock.
Yep, and that took a minute off the clock right there from the last time I mentioned it. And Blind is absolutely putting on a Sombra clinic right now. But Death Blossom and Sound Barrier available to the attackers. They have that going in there. Only chance does not have the Nano Boost ready to go again. So will we see, on tempo, get that shielding up from the team and really push him with this Death Blossom?
It could be the difference maker. Only 2 ults currently online on the side of the attackers. Young will have a Deadeye soon, assuming it doesn't fall, as the Sound Barrier is used aggressively from Apollo to get in. Clout thought about taking on the McCree and then dropped down, and is just going to help finish off the tanks in the brick. 2 kills. Sparking does get demexed, but will find the kill with the Bunny Blaster onto Oni. And Apollo will have 50% already picked up, and they're in a prime position to get the rest. 6-man EMP, but there's nobody there to follow up on it. Kills continue to light up for Apollo. Assuming they can close out these last couple stall characters, they should be able to take this map, and it's coming through directly. Death Blossom will demech Lost Sock, and Tribulation are running out of answers here for this attack.
I mean, they bring the stall characters out, the Doomfist, the Wrecking Ball, all going down in heaps. That Sound Barrier was absolutely what they needed to move in on tempo. And it's just clean up from here. It's going to be 2-1 to Apollo as we head into Junkertown. Last map of the season, potentially, for these 2 powerhouse teams here in Tier 4. Man, it has been just a fantastic night of Overwatch here. A 2-week continuation of last week's brawl out that we saw. And man, just at the very end there, I mean, Tribulation put up a hell of a defense there. I thought they actually had the tools to really get in there, but that Sound Barrier coming out of Founded Saturn at the end gave them just that little bit of extra oomph to get over the line, and it was just clean up from there.
Absolutely. They were able to use that Sound Barrier early, didn't have the EMP to worry about. And it was beautifully timed. I mean, that was the difference maker in that fight for sure. I think we're going to take a short break. Need a quick bio break, but we'll be back in 60 seconds with map number 4. We're headed to Junkertown. We'll see if Apollo can close this out or if Tribulation can send us to map 5. I don't have a picture for Junkertown. Sad face. I'm going to have to fix that. As we're back from our break, Apollo up 2-1. Sorry about that. I think we both kind of did one of those. We came back from our normal halftime break, and we're like, wait a minute, maybe we should have gone to hit the head during that break. Oh, fail, caster fail. So apologies for the additional break, but we're back. We're ready to get into map 4. It's going to be Junkertown.
Yep, and we saw some sniper play come out last week between these 2 teams. I think we saw a Hanzo come out on this map, if I do remember.
Well, we didn't play this map last week, but
okay, you know what I mean. We saw at our 4th map, in one of our maps, we saw some snipers come out from Apollo in Tribulation. So we might be able to see that coming out again. It's been a long week. But, looking at coming into this, I mean, they're down 2-1. And Tribulation got to pull out all the stops here, try to make it as close as possible. I know that they've already succeeded the top position to Apollo, but it's all to play for here. Still pride on the line between these 2 wonderful orgs. So yeah,
absolutely, and I'm surprised we're not seeing more Wrecking Ball. Speaking of compositions, we saw the mecha, the mobile mechs, as I like to call them, in Diva and Wrecking Ball prominently from Apollo last week, and it's been a lot of dive in this series. It's both teams really changing up their compositions coming into this Week 9 matchup. And I'd say so far, the dive has favored Tribulation. Onichan's has looked really good on the Ana, is able to consistently get nano boosts into settling ace almost every fight. I mean, it's just been a little bit of an edge going the other way. I mean, the McCree play has been fantastic on the other end from Cloud. So I think that DPS has been the difference maker.
I think it's been the sustained difference. I think running the Moira Lucio over the Ana Lucio has been a little bit different because the burst healing from those nades, if you don't land it just right, you don't get the same impact as that orb, as the spray, the healing spray that comes out from the Moira. I mean, you're equal with both Lucios when they need to amp the heals that they need to. So I think I think it's the Lucio or it's the Ana versus the Moira difference. I think the Moira right now just getting a little bit more healing than what the Ana is providing out, but the nano boost is getting more value than what the coalescence is maybe getting out. So there's a trade there.
That's a tough
it's a
call.
compositional.
Yeah,
It's tit for tat there. So
that coalescence at the end was sick.
Yeah, I mean that actually won out, but I mean they won so many fights with a nano boosted monkey
So
unsettling ace. So I mean it's literally a toss up between which you favor more. I just think that the constant support, the constant sustain is a little bit in the favor of Apollo right now.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that as we head into map number 4. We're going to get a little bit of a sub. Speaking of Ana's, Laughing Tag coming in. Subbing in for Founded. And it's going to go ahead and pull out the Ana as Apollo head onto the defense.
Yeah, not hating that. Not hating that at all. And you're bringing out the Mercy, so the res will be on the table, which I don't hate at all. Also, the damage boost to Cloud Streaks, who is showing us the Ashe right now. Of course, Ashe taking a nerf a couple weeks ago, but still a very viable character. That Dynamite still plays havoc with a lot of teams. And, Bob, of course, being the 7th man, you'll actually have the 8th man with the res online. So we'll see what they bring out here.
Well, Blind showing a little bit of far. I don't know if they're going to stick with that or if that was just a feign. As Godspeed has gone over to the trademark Tracer. And immediately put some pressure onto Cosmic, who has come back in that DPS role. Cosmic on the Reaper here. Oh, big hook start things off. Cosmic is trying to go in and get something happen, but Sparking's going to find that kill as well. Sparking already with a pair to open things up for the defenses. The cart approaches the courtyard.
Yeah, I mean, this is this is the pig's feet composition as we termed it. And what a stagger here onto the little baby D.Va not being able to get back into mech yet. Looking at the ultimate charges right now, Fark getting close onto the Valkyrie right now. And the Godspeed taking down Cosmic and the Keep. That's a big first pick for them.
Yeah, Cosmic has not been able to play the game so far on Junkertown. Is going to go ahead and swap over to a Tracer as the Reaper was certainly not working. Gonna end up, oh, nope, just gonna swap again. Sides, the Genji is the way to go. Already super low as Emmanuel comes through on a Godspeed, but they're able to find some cover, and Snipe is gonna get that kill. Bob finds a pair as Cloud Streak invests as the big Omnic Butler, and he's just gonna hold court out here on point A.
Yeah, 90 seconds off the clock and not very much progress coming from Tribulation here. Cosmic on this Genji, not hating it, especially with the deflect ability onto the machine pistols of Godspeed. But you've got Pulse Bomb ready to go right now. Let's see if they can get in there and really take it to the butt. Hook from Sparking again.
That's going to shut down EMP and buy even more time for Apollo's defense. What a play. Clout able to find a pair as well.
See the value of the Mercy once again. I mean, Fark is just flitting back and forth. Is that the right word? Yeah, flitting back and forth between the DPS right now and just getting so much value with the damage boost into it. So we're seeing some beautiful work here. 2 minutes off the clock already. Big anti-nade going in from Laughing Tag. Nano online.
AMP online as well for the attackers, though. And that's going to find 6, and Blind immediately picks up 1. Settling Ace immediately finds 1 as well. And the AMP will win them that fight. It took 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes to get it out, but I guess better late than never, and they make good use of it on the attack.
They really do. And I mean, that's a beautiful use. And I mean, it really reiterates your point of it being the biggest fight winning ultimate in Overwatch right now. However, there's going to be time for a recontest. And you've got Whole Hog, you've got Gravitic Flux, you've got the Nano online. You're going to have Bob almost again. Cloud has been putting in so much work on this Ashe. We'll see what they address with, though.
Yep, and you just have Cloud up top putting some damage down as the cart slowly approaches the end of point A. Bob thrown out to hold the cart. Snipe got hacked out of the Gravitic Flux. Sparking is going to throw a whole hog down as well. Both do eventually get a kill. And it looks like the defense will hold. Oni is able to find one. But settling Ace very low, eventually taken down by Clout. Rez comes through to get Godspeed back in the battle.
Yeah, I mean, great res coming up from Fark. Once again, we see the power of the Mercy there. So, I mean, you know, maybe missing with the Dynamite here and there. The kinds that we've been zeroed in on Clouds has missed the Dynamites. And we're at 30 seconds left. That's happened rapidly. Oni going out again onto the Ana. We need to see if they can build up to this Nano Blade. I don't think they're going to be able to. They're going to have to go in blind on this.
Yeah, and this is such an important fight. And Cosmic gets hooked early! Not able to pull the blade out at all. Self-destruct over the point just buys a little bit of time as Sparking continues to gatekeep the front, not allow the supports to get in the battle. Pulse Bomb doesn't land, but Oni's in a lot of trouble. Kazi will eventually find that kill. It's just settling Ace left here, and Tribulation, oh, they're going to have to put up the fuller hold if they want to send us to that map 5. Bob is going to shut down the blade, and Apollo is going to shut down this attack.
That was frighteningly easy for Apollo. I mean, let's call a spade there. The Pig's Feet tank line absolutely shutting down what Tribulation was trying to deal to Apollo there. Sparking, once again, our hero of last week, being a map 3 sub, coming in, showing us the Roadhog, and just absolutely decimating any kind of ultimate stacking that Tribulation wanted to do there. So, yeah, I mean, why stay on Monkey at that point? Because, I mean, you're just getting owned. The shield break from the alternate fire of Roadhog alone was destroying that bubble. And looking at Lost Sock, I mean, didn't get enough damage mitigation with that defense matrix. I mean, they were getting hacked quite a bit as well, not to mention that Godspeed was just a thorn in the side of Lost Sock there. So, win condition said it's not very much that they have to get this payload around in 4 minutes.
No, they just have to get a few meters from the gate, and they will take map 4 and their second victory in a row over Tribulation. Trib coming out with the McCree and the Tracer, bring out a Pig's Feet comp of their own.
Yeah, they're bringing out the Brigitte as well. So looking for a little bit of CC, looking for that Inspire healing to keep them up through these fights. But, I mean, they're going to have to fight for a fast rally because if Sparking and Snipey do it again, you know, they're going to have their work cut out for them.
Godspeed on the Widowmaker right out of the gate. Narrowly misses Cosmic's Dome. Cloud Streak does not miss Socks, though. As the double snipers immediately getting the goods. Turns around, lands 2 quick shots onto Cosmic. Clout coming out of the gate, swinging on this Ashe. Already has 2 under their belt, looking for the third, trying to hit the Tracer, but Blind Sleep's a little too elusive, but not for Godspeed.
Oh, good Lord, taking out the trash indeed. All coming out. This is a better composition. You're going to be able to get a lot more disruption into these snipers of Apollo. But huge nade coming in from Laughing Tag.
And Clout picks up yet another. Already close to having the Bob online. They may not even need it. Somebody's got to touch cart! Somebody's got to touch cart! Oh, no! Such a wonderful series to end on such an anticlimactic note. The Brig was there. Yeah, they were in trouble. Yeah, Apollo had a pretty significant player advantage. But come on. You at least contest. You at least contest. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. You know who doesn't hate to see it? Apollo. Apollo take the series 3-1. They maintain their undefeated streak through the regular season and will finish multi-tier fall 2020 regular season with a perfect 9-0.
I mean, letter number rears its ugly head there.
I don't know if that was quite a C9, but you know, you want to contest.
He got hooked. I'll say that Sparking got the hook onto Sock there. But
I mean, okay. Let's clarify. A C9 is you've won the fight and you neglect to touch the cart. If Tribulation had killed everybody but one and then like pushed up and somebody just like walked it in, now that's a C9. But they were down 3. Like, it wasn't. They just neglected to contest. It's not quite a C9, but it's still slightly egregious. You still would have liked to see more of a battle on that back end when the brig was so close. Yeah, the brig was antied. And probably wasn't going to survive long anyway. And like you say, the hook came through to pull the hog off, which I'm guessing was they were planning to rotate in their contest, and the hook came through to kind of force the hog off. But I mean, all in all,
Call it sus. We'll call it a sus contest.
all in all, Apollo are able to play it well. They take the victory in convincing fashion on map 4. And well, they go into the postseason the lone team on top of the hill.
Yeah, I mean they're going to have a wonderful time against their number 4 seed in Division 2. Sorry, NSB, for forgetting that there was only 2 divisions.
Speaking of, we could take a look at our playoff picture here.
Yeah, 2 divisions, so they'll get the 4 seed in Division 2, and I mean that's the matchup that they wanted. That's exactly what they needed to do, and that's what they need to have going forward into next week. That'll start the week of February the 8th. That's when the playoffs will start proper, and then I think we have like either 2 or 3 weeks of playoffs, and then finals week after that.
Yep. And Tribulation, so they fall to a 14 map differential, and in the season 7-2. So if Saga Banditos 3-0 their final match, Saga does have the opportunity to take the second seed away from Tribulation, but they must 3-0. Tribulation won that head-to-head, so even a 3-1 victory for Saga will not be enough to propel them into second place.
Yep, and so I mean it's all to play for them. I think they're playing tonight. I'm not sure of their opponent. I will take a look right now while we are discussing. No, I don't want the standings again. I don't want the standings. I want the schedule here. As I bring it up, let's see. That's Division 1. Thank you.
I think we need to choose an MVP here. I think that's our next order of business. We need an MVP. We need our player of the match, Billy. I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards Cloud Streaks today.
Yeah, I'll agree with you again. Not very often that we agree both times in a row, but I think Cloud Streaks had some really pop-off moments that really secured wins for Apollo in the mid-fight. So I'll agree with you on that one. Saga Bandito is playing off in church here in week 9. So we shall see what is brought out from that. Keep us posted. Don't tell anybody the scores, though. Once again, everybody out there listening, please don't tell us the scores when you DM us, because we want to be surprised too.
Yeah, absolutely. We like to go into these blind and keep our casts authentic and genuine. We learn when y'all learn on stream as to what's going on in our outcomes. So yeah, there's a lot riding on that Church versus Saga game. That there is no doubt there. I agree. We should probably pick that one up for tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see like how all that works out. No promises, but definitely one we'll keep in mind. Beck, I know I owe you a dad joke. It's true. So here it is for you. Here it is. Burning questions, Billy. Burning questions. Why does Mercy, have blonde hair? Why does Mercy have blonde hair?
I don't know.
Because heroes never die. D-Y-E? All right. On that note, GG's to everybody all around. Big thank you to Apollo and Trib for wonderful seasons. Look forward to seeing you both in the postseason. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us today for this edition of Overwatch. I did want to give a quick update. We had intended to stream the Aurora match, but apparently the main tank didn't show up for Behu. So we've opted to not get that one on stream, but Aurora does 3-0, and Ignition, due to that loss yesterday, are out of playoffs. Both of the other teams, both Bronwyn and Aurora, won their matches, and so Ignition fall from being tied in second to 5th place in one failed swoop, and are unfortunately going to have to watch the postseason from the outside in. So just a little update on Tier 3. You got anything else for us, Billy, before I send us home?
Still groaning from the dad joke.
I don't
No, it's
blame you.
been a wonderful season. I mean, we're almost at the end of our stretch here in MTT8, and it's been a fantastic season, even with all the challenges. I think we've still brought the community to you guys out there. We love the tier 3, tier 4 communities. We love all the communities, obviously. And we will see you in the playoffs starting the February the 8th.
We will have a couple matches coming at you tomorrow. Will be our final day of casting for the regular season, and I am so looking forward to playoffs. I can't wait, Billy. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. It's my favorite time of the year. It's like sweeps in television.
Yeah, but we'll have Tribulation and Elk Gaming going at it tomorrow. Big playoff implications there. You don't want to miss it. Until then, look out for each other in game and out as always, and we'll see you back here for more multi-tier tournament.
Bye, guys. Love y'all.